Namaskaram. Welcome to my channel VPK Nutrition Holistic Wellness. Today I am speaking to you from Ayurveda in Bangalore, which is an Ayurvedic retreat and treatment center. I have spent the last 9 days here getting amazing treatments, enjoying the ambience, and also the wonderful staff that takes such good care of you. I feel really recharged, rejuvenated, and ready to go back home with a burst of joy and peace within. I wanted to share my experiences as well as some lessons I have learned. So please stay tuned to learn more. Welcome back, everyone. I just got back from my trip to Ayurveda about 2 weeks ago, and I haven't had really time to sit down and do this video. So here I am today. So first of all, thank you so much for all my viewers, my subscribers, and those who watch regularly and share their feedback. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking a little bit about my experiences at Ayurveda during my Ayurvedic detox treatment. But I came back with a lot of lessons which is beyond the physical detox itself. And that is part of the detox as well, mental, emotional clarity, and lightness that you feel after you've purged a lot of the impurities from your body. So and again, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to share are more like reflections that I was able to have during the stay there. And also at the end, I will leave you with some thoughts on how this can be relevant to our modern life and how we can actually learn and grow from this. So stay tuned till the end. So I spent about 10 days in this Ayurveda in Bangalore for an Ayurvedic detox. It is not quite a full detox because you need a minimum of 14 days, but I still got a pretty good treatment for the 10 days that I was there. So let's talk about the place. The place itself was amazing. It's an expansive land with a lot of greenery, trees, and a lot of herbs are also grown right there. And they made it look like Kerala. So it is so serene and peaceful and a lot of place to walk around and imbibe a lot of the prana that you get from the trees and plants around us. The food, again, was so delicious. It was a very sattvic food. Freshly prepared every day, not too spicy, not too salty, but a big variety of vegetables, all grown seasonally. And it was served by the staff who were so loving and kind to every person there. The food that was served there is what we call in Ayurveda as patya ahara, which is wholesome food, which is suitable for most people because it is made so well and digestible. Now, the third thing is we also got an opportunity to meet a lot of people from all over the world, from different cultures, different traditions, and different backgrounds. Now, again, an opportunity like that is not easy to find unless you go to a place like this, and especially people who are there to heal themselves, which means they all have one goal, to find that healing within and outside, not just physical healing, but also mental, emotional healing. We all had wonderful, deep conversations. We also had a lot of laughs. It was a very enlightening experience, I would say, hanging out with so many of these different kinds of people, and also taught me a lot of lessons. Last but not the least, and probably the most important and highlight, I would say, of my trip is the great Ayurvedic treatments that we receive every single day. So there are a lot of beautiful therapists trained really well in the ancient techniques of Abhyanga and the Pirchal and then the Patras Vedana, etc., and also very knowledgeable of what they're doing. But more than all of that, they also do this for us with so much of kindness and care and love that half the healing takes place just by being in their presence. Now, I am one of those people right from childhood. I've always spent a lot of hours just observing nature, observing people, observing things around in my environment to learn from it, or just observation without any judgment. This has been my practice even as a child. And I was very content. I spent alone many hours because I was an only child at that point. But I also was very happy within myself. I'd never felt like I needed more from the outside to feel happy. So this was just my general personality. Now that is a quality I have carried throughout my life. Although life happened, getting married, having children, etc., etc., I haven't had a lot of opportunities, but being in a place like this actually brought me back that childhood where I could actually sit and observe and learn from it. So in today's video, I wanted to share, I would say my therapists and their names were very unique, that I was able to reflect on some of that and come up with some ideas or valuable lessons that I can take back with me for my own life. And I'm hoping to share some of that with you. Maybe it might resonate with you, or it might be like an aha moment for you as well. Whatever it is, I hope if you like it, please like it, and then share with whoever you think might be helpful. Now, before I go on to my reflections, I just wanted to give little context here. Now, in our Vedic tradition, there's Lord Dattatreya who gave us the 24 gurus. So what does this mean? 24 gurus, he observed nature, and he would look at the air, water, fire, python, etc. And he came up with what each of these elements taught us for our own life. Now, as a Balavihar teacher many years ago, I used to teach this to the kids, and I found it very fascinating. And it kind of resonated with me because this is a practice I have been doing since childhood, just observing and learning from them. And of course, I also journal a lot, and I encourage a lot of people to do that as well. So I took the 5 names of the therapist and I said, what can I learn from this? So my main therapist, the first one, her name was Shantini. Shantini is peace, right? And peace is the ultimate goal that everybody is looking for. If you are completely peaceful, you don't need anything from the outside to make you happy or, elated or whatever, right? Peace is all we're looking for, the stillness inside. The second therapist who joined her on the first day, her name was Paurnami. Paurnami means full moon, could be the bright moon. So moon represents mind in astrology. So naturally, bright moon represents a clear mind, clarity of the mind. Third therapist who joined after a couple of days, her name was Manju, and she came for a couple of days only, but she was one of the senior therapists, and she was very pleasant, and Manju means pleasant or pleasing. So her behavior, her manner of speaking, everything was so pleasant. It almost like she personified what her name said. That was so beautiful because, like I said, healing takes place when somebody is pleasant to be around. The fourth therapist, her name was Vidya. Now again, she came several days, but she was this calm, still person, but I could tell she has a lot of depth of knowledge. However, her technique needed a little bit of refining while she was learning. But Vidya also means knowledge. It can mean any knowledge, but mainly self-knowledge. So this, and then the fifth therapist was Swarna. Now, Swarna means gold in Sanskrit. Now, gold, what do we refer to when we say heart of gold, right? So how can you, and again, everybody can have a heart of gold, but still there's so much of things clouding it that we are not able to see that gold, that consciousness is the gold within us, and we fail to see that. So what was my takeaway from just analyzing these 5 names? The ultimate goal, the girl who held me from the first day till the last day, her name is Shantini, is peace. So our whole life, all we are looking for is a comprehensive peace, that stillness within. But in order to have that stillness, we need to have a clear mind. If you have an agitated mind, you lose your peace. So to me, having that, removing the impurities, especially during this detox process, helped to clear my mind, brought clarity to my mind. Once you have clarity in your mind, you automatically become more peaceful and more still. And so then you carry yourself in a more pleasing manner. Your mind softens and your speech becomes sweeter. And this attracts a lot of people around you because you feel more balanced and clear. Once your mind is clear and you feel more still and peaceful, now you're ready to get the knowledge that is given to us. So self-knowledge is, again, it's all about not just acquiring knowledge, but it is also about churning it in your own mind. Now, if you have too much of garbage in your mind, you cannot churn it and get the good results. So once you have clarity, You're able to churn the wisdom, I mean, the knowledge that you gain and turn it into wisdom. So that is what Vidya represents. Again, the tweaking of the techniques showed me that although we get knowledge, we churn it, we have to keep churning to refine it more and more to perfection. So once you do that, and finally, the day of the purge is when Swarna came into the picture. And that is when you getting rid of all of the subtle impurities in your mind. And this is stated in Yoga Sutras as well. By meditation, you can get rid of a lot of the subtle impurities, or at least observe them. So here, Swarna, once you remove those subtle impurities, you automatically see the gold inside, or the joy within. So the joy is already there within us. The gold, the heart of gold is already within us. But we are unable to see it because we don't have the clarity of the mind, we don't have the peace of mind, and we don't have the capacity to churn this knowledge with all of the other agitation present within. So this is my takeaway from just these 5 names. I know it took a lot of imagination, creativity, and all of that, but to me, this is how my mind works, and I felt like this is something I wanted to share with everyone else. So how is this relevant to the modern world? Now, we live in the modern world of indulgence, right? Too much food, too much entertainment, too much information overload, too much work. I mean, too much of everything. And this leads to too much stress also, and lack of sleep, which augments the stress level. In Ayurveda, it is more about subtraction, removing those toxins. And this is why they have this Panchakarma as a procedure at least twice a year to do some housekeeping, because we are constantly taking in information. So it is about letting go of the things that don't serve you anymore and have some clarity of the mind to choose the things that draws you in your own heart. In essence, we need to protect our inner fire. Try not to extinguish it by adding too much junk inside. At the same time, we want to keep the company of your own tribe, the people, like-minded people, the sattvic people. That is the value of satsang. The people who would encourage you without the judgment, and not be with people who would douse that fire. This is very important. We also need to live our unique nature. Every single person has something unique about them to share with the world. So if you can go make that inward journey and find out what is that unique quality about you that you can bring to the world to help someone else, that would give you the greatest joy. And this takes time to sit down and reflect and write it down. And again, I always suggest journaling. So start writing, what are your great qualities, what actually make you happy, give you joy. And then if you start working in that direction, you will actually find joy within very easily. I want to leave you today with a home practice. First of all, start observing everything in your life, the nature, the people around you, your own thoughts that come up from time to time. So again, you need some time to reflect on of these things as well. So you need to make time for observation as well as reflection. You can start journaling these to understand yourself and what you are really drawn to and what really gives you joy in life. So hope you can try this week. This is a very important exercise for health and healing, because most people are always running in today's life. This rat race is not making anyone happier or healthier. It is only making people more stressed and unhappy. So start today, make that sankalpa. This week I am going to take time for myself every day to observe some things around me and also reflect upon those and learn more about myself. The more you learn about yourself, the more joyful you become and more peaceful you will become. So in a sense, the conclusion, the summary I want to leave you with is, when you want peace, you first need to clear your mind of all of the impurities. Again, you do that by the reflection, the mindfulness that I mentioned. Then you will start acting in a more peaceful manner, in a pleasing manner to others. So you will invite the right kind of company And at the same time, your mind will be clear enough to receive the knowledge that needs to be churned within to refine and remove the subtler impurities inside as well. And finally, you will find that inner joy. And once you have that inner joy and act in this world from that inner joy, you are going to enjoy whatever you do in life. I hope this is helpful. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with people you think may be benefited from this. And I hope to see you in my next video. So have a wonderful week ahead.